10.
There'd be two less. All right. Not practicing today, Demarius. Tom Compton still. And then Robbie will be out with the illness. Limited Jamal, Henry, Beecham, Arthur, Steve. Brian Poole still working, still in the concussion protocol, still kind of going through those steps. And then Bilal and Quinnen will be limited.
Is Poole close to being?
I mean, I don't know.
Robbie, is that?
Yeah, they just told me this morning he was sick, and they sent him home.
If Compton can't go, who would be your right guard?
Pick one of the two guys left.
Connor or
Quality.
I think Quinnen has a chance. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
depends on how he feels the next day.
No, I mean, I haven't heard any complaints from any of those guys, so we're gonna get to go another day. So we'll see how the rest of the week goes.
Jamal said yesterday, the chances are very high that he's going to play. So
Yeah, I mean, like I told him, let's go through the week and kind of see how you feel at the end of it, and then we'll make the right decision.
And when you look at Le'Veon's season, obviously, I don't think it's going the way he wanted or you wanted. What do you kind of look at the major issues being why it hasn't gone the way maybe people thought it would in August?
I think a little bit of it is just kind of the pieces getting kind of changing up front. You know, we kind of lost a little bit of our chemistry there from training camp. Kind of once we got going in the season, you know, we had some guys moving in and out. I think, you know, losing Sam for 3 weeks, we kind of leaned on him pretty heavily. You know, he was really, everything was on him. Try to get us positive yards and first downs. So, I mean, he took a pretty good pound in there for 3 weeks. I feel like the last few outings, though, you know, it's looked better than what it looks more like what we thought it was going to look like. It's just kind of it's hard to explain. I mean, it's just, you know, I think when he's got stuff there, then we're getting good yards, and he's done a good job, especially the last 2 or 3 games, of taking what they're giving him instead of trying to create big plays. He's keeping us ahead of the six.
is there anything you would have done differently with how you?
I'll have to look. I mean,
Obviously,
I'll have to look back. Like whenever, you know, when we're done with the season, then that's an easier time to do that. You know, right now it's, you know, each week you're just trying to focus on how do we get the chains moving, how do we get everybody involved, and find ways to move the ball.
People talk about continuity on the offensive line. Is the lack of that here because of the injuries and other reasons kind of one of the things you see as a reason for the struggles?
Yeah, I mean, when we go back and look at it, my gut says that's going to kind of play a part into it. As far as just kind of, I felt like we had a good rhythm when we were in training camp. You know, it looked different. You know, I mean, you guys were at practice. It just kind of looked and felt different. And then I think we just kind of had some things change and, you know, players moving around and just kind of, you know, change for us.
In last Thursday's game, Le'Veon seemed to be running really well downhill, being very aggressive to the hole. Was that something scheme related? Were you calling those particular type of plays, or was he just?
No, a little bit. I mean, a little bit of that, and he understands kind of what we're trying to do as far as against that defense. We did not want to be in third and long situations. We're trying to put ourselves in third and manageable, and that kind of, you know, unfortunately, you know, for that position, you're kind of putting those guys in a box because they know that every positive yard matters. So, you know, you lose a little bit out of the possibility of a big play, but it gives us better chances in offense to try to move the ball.
Bell's a guy who's been really used to hitting those big plays and kind of having the luxury in Pittsburgh of dancing and waiting for the perfect hole and then hitting it. So does it speak anything to him being able to change that mindset this far along in his career to adjust his running style?
Yeah, he's been great in the aspect of whatever he needs to do to help the team, you know, win a game. And he's always been whatever we've asked him to do, he's just done it. You know, he's had some good suggestions throughout the season to try to kind of help kind of get the thing, you know, get the ball rolling a little bit within a game. In game, he's really good. You know, he has really good thoughts and kind of he sees so much, and he gives you really good kind of thoughts, you know, during a game.
Adam lost a little bit, obviously, in the Thursday loss and even the record. your special teams had a particularly good night. What's your view of what they've been doing?
Yeah, that was a big part of kind of when we went into that game. We were talking about how we needed to do everything we could to try to win that phase. You know, we knew we were playing a team that was really strong on offense and defense, but what goes unnoticed a little bit is, you know, with John coaching those guys, it's good special teams. And our guys knew that they had to have a good performance, and they did. You know, there was a couple things that our guys planned on, and then we executed it, and, you know, we're able to create some big plays.
Just going back during just the balance of the season, what have you seen out of that group?
Yeah, I think it's been consistent. You know, I think we've only had really like one game where I think really Brant would say, hey, we didn't have what we wanted. And majority of the time, though, we're putting ourselves in good spot.
He was one of the guys you kept obviously here. What did you know of him before you got here?
Not much. I mean, when you get kind of stuck in that world of once you got your guy, you're not really worried about anybody else. So, you know, it was, you know, for him to be able to be here and to stay here, that was, anytime you can keep your special teams coach that's already here, he already knows a lot of the guys that are here. He knows how to use them. He kind of can give you that inside information of who does special teams, who can do everything else as well. So I mean, it's good to have somebody that's already been here.
Was there ever any, not nervousness, right, but because you didn't know Brad before, you'd never worked with him before, that you want one of your own guys, someone you kind of had experience with, to bring here?
No, I think it's really hard to find good special teams coaches. You know, I mean, you know, him being here already, and those guys had, you know, great success the year before. So I mean, it was easy.
You were obviously aware. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Going back to Le'Veon for 1 second, there's been speculation that maybe he's not a part of the future, that, you know, you're not using him the right way, whatever. What do you say to that? And do you want him going forward?
Yeah, I mean, we got 2 games left, so it's hard for me to focus on anything outside these 2 games. I know that we're going to do everything we can to just keep, you know, finding those ways to get him yards and get him involved in the offense and make him a key part of it. And that's all we can do right now.
With Sam, what does Pittsburgh do specifically on defense that will pose the biggest challenge for him?
Get to the pass rusher. I mean, you got to get the ball out quick. You got to do a good job of making sure that you're protecting the football when those guys do get through, because they force so many fumbles. You know, those 2 edge guys are really good.
Adam, how well do you know Tomlin?
Well,
What's your impression? I mean, obviously his record speaks for itself, but just, you know, the sustained consistency that they have
yeah,
there.
I mean, that's
the names.
something I always have respected about Coach Tomlin is he is steady. He's the same, good, bad, indifferent. His teams always are competitive all throughout the year, as far as especially in December. You're always hearing about them. You know, whether or not they have injuries or whatever's happened throughout the season, he's steady.
Do you see, I mean, obviously there's a little bit of parallel. I mean, they went down to their 3rd string quarterback who's still playing, and they're succeeding with him. And, you know, you guys are down to that, and you couldn't really sustain anything. You know, I mean, obviously it's a talent difference, but what does that say about what him and his group have been able to do, you know, with that same kind of adversity you guys had?
That's a great job. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do. They found a way to, you know, be able to kind of handle that bump in the road and find a way to win. You know, every game they've been in pretty much has been 1-score games, whether they win or lose, and, you know, they're keeping it close. They're scoring on defense, not turning the ball over on offense, which they did. You know, the last game, obviously, I mean, was a little different, but, I mean, for the most part, they've just been so consistent.
You talked about, hold on 1 second, Andy and Cosmo were doing. You talked about Pittsburgh being able to get to the quarterback. How much does that factor into your thinking when you're calling a game, especially at this stage of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I don't plan on calling a whole bunch of 7-step drops and let's see how long we can hold on to it. I mean, you better have good timing, better get open fast, got to protect long enough to be able to get the ball off.
Adam, when you talk about Sam kind of getting consistent and eliminating some of the bad things, are there things you can do to accelerate that process, or is it just something that has to happen over time?
I think it's over time, but it's not. I'm not thinking like 5 years. I mean, I think the way that he's accelerated, it's been pretty pretty quick, I feel like. I feel like things are clicking for him. He understands more and more every day. Every time we go out to practice, there's something different that he does, whether it be at the line of scrimmage, in the huddle, the question he asks, that you feel really good about kind of where his mind is.
Thank you, everyone.